This episode is brought to you by Peloton. This year, Peloton is gifting you their best offer of the season. Get up to $300 off accessories like cycling shoes, a heart rate monitor, and more when you purchase a Peloton bike, Bike Plus, or Tread. Whether you have 10 minutes to spare for a strength class or 30 for a cycling class, there's a workout that works for you. To learn more, visit onepeloton.com. All access membership separate. Offer starts November 14th and ends November 28th. Cannot be combined with other offers. See additional terms at onepeloton.com.
This episode is brought to you by Carvana. Let's say you need a new car. Well, a new used car. Now this is my groove car. A U car. Now, what if you could seal the deal and order it to your door 100% online? Buyer's remorse? No such thing. Take a week to love it or return it. Sound good? Carvana. They'll drive you happy. Availability may vary by market. Visit Carvana.com or download the app.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. This is a bonus episode all about everyone's favorite coffee-drinking psychologist from Seattle, Frasier Crane. He could not join us today, unfortunately, but I am joined in the studio via online by Neal. Neal, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I apologize to the listeners. My voice is gone, so I'm going to do my best, but I'm not in true form here, and we couldn't get Bulldog to come into the studio, so it's just me, guys. So I sound like a bulldog, but I'm just here to help out.
I love Bulldog. Just unlock some memories. I haven't watched the show in a while, and I completely forgot that he's the best character on the show, in my opinion anyway. So if you're just tuning in for just the Frasier content, we're a trivia podcast. We play trivia style games and usually between two teams in general knowledge type questions. But today is a special bonus episode all about Frasier. My connection to Frasier is one time I saw Kelsey Grammer at a restaurant in Beverly Hills, and he seemed like he was nice to the wait staff, but I've heard otherwise. What about you, Neal?
Frasier, I used to watch it a little bit when I was younger, or just it was on in the background. But just recently, over the last year, Colleen and I have been watching it from the beginning, and I have one season left. But I've been enjoying it and doing some research for a TV book that I've been working on that I'm almost done with. Just learning about how prolific it is, how wonderful the writers were, how many awards it's won, and the fact that it has to be, arguably, I think it probably is the most successful spin-off of all time, which is pretty great. So, very cool show.
Do you have a favorite episode?
So, being a theater geek, growing up in the theater, and sort of that's where my background is, my favorite is My Coffee with Niles, just because it's all done like a play. And I just love the way that it's set up and that you kind of throw away the TV conventions and just let the actors do what they're great at.
Yeah. Every Christmas I watch the episode where they think Frasier's homeless and they all buy him dinner at the diner. It's a classic episode, and he leaves in his Lexus to a course of booze. Wonderful episode. So we are not going to be playing this game, but Neal, we have some contestants, so why don't you introduce them today?
I will do that. And just a little preface here. I'm probably going to be asking you what your favorite Frasier episode is, so that'll give you a little bit of time to think about it. Our first contestant, coming to us from Kansas, has been on the show before, hosted a wonderful holiday episode for us last year, executive producer on Patreon, James Campbell. How are you, sir?
I'm well. Thank you, Neal.
So nice to have you back. I will say appreciate the Triviality t-shirt you're wearing, and also the fact that you have my book behind you, which is just you're making me blush, and it's not just because it's warm in here, but I appreciate it.
Sorry to hear you're a little bit under the weather, but hopefully we can all fill in for you as you are, struggling a little bit.
Oh, thank you.
We can be the Niles, and let's get better.
Oh, well, thank you. And tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
I am a criminal defense attorney from Kansas. I predominantly do federal work now. I am married. Actually, last week, as we're recording this, we celebrated our 32nd anniversary. And then I have 2 grown children as well. But essentially, I like to read, like to cook, travel around a lot, and we are in very heavy Christmas mode. We have an old Victorian house. Our house is about 140 years old, and my wife decorates for Christmas where she takes a week off from work just to decorate. So we are, as we speak, I think we are at about 9 trees, and before it's done, we'll probably be between 15 and 17.
Wow. So that's definitely a Christmas village or holiday village you got going there.
Oh, we have like 5 Christmas villages too. So those are just the trees. So yeah, it is very festive here for the holiday season. And as to my favorite episode, I am also a big fan of My Coffee with Niles. So probably as an episode that potentially is my favorite. However, the first scene of Three Valentines that David Hyde Pierce does, where it's almost a silent movie, where he is trying to prepare for his date at Frasier's and has to press his pants, and then he pricks his finger and passes out. Much like you say, it's not TV, it's a movie, where he takes the little cleaner and he's reading the label, and so he moves the candle away just so you know that it's flammable without saying a word. And then eventually the couch catches on fire and he throws the pasta on the couch, and every time he sees his finger he passes out, and the last scene is him in his boxers laying halfway out the door with the pasta on the couch. That scene to this day just leaves me rolling on the floor laughing.
What a great choice. Yeah, and what a wonderful supporting cast of actors and actresses, just at the top of their game, many of them Tony Award winners. But yeah, just wonderful choice. Well, thank you very much for joining us, James. Our next contestant, just tell a short story here, was the one person who on the sign-up sheet only put Frasier and said, I really want to be on the Frasier bonus episode. So had a straight shot to this episode. We really appreciate it. Coming to us from just outside of Seattle, and this was not written by the Frasier writers. But thank you for joining us, Janelle. How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm so great. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm so excited to participate. I hope I don't embarrass myself, but I certainly appreciate the effort you all put into putting this together. It's fantastic.
Oh, well, thank you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and also your favorite Frasier episode.
I live outside Seattle, like you said. I'm an optician, so I help people find glasses and fit them and fix them when they're broken. And I love what I do. I love helping people look great in their glasses and see better. My favorite Frasier episode, I have 2, if you'll indulge me. I love Ham Radio. I love the episode when they do the radio drama, and it just completely falls apart, and it's just the greatest episode, just watching Frasier try to corral all of these people to put this thing on, and it just completely explodes. It's fantastic. And I also love Look Before You Leap, which is the leap year episode when everyone goes out and tries to do something that is outside their comfort zone, and again, true Frasier fashion, things just fall apart, and he ends up embarrassing himself on national television. So those are my 2 favorite episodes, but it's hard to pick only 2. But if I had to pick them, those are the ones I'd pick.
Those are great choices. Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We're so excited to have you here. And our last competitor, coming to us from Westport, Connecticut, Scott Brill. Thank you very much for joining us. How are you tonight?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. The excitement of talking about Frasier is keeping my voice strong here. Even though I have no falsetto left, I've tried and nothing comes out. But just sort of
you're great. And I'm a theater guy too, so I think that's where my first real appreciation of Frasier came from, because there were so many of the episodes really felt like little plays, and that was done so well that so it's exciting to go back and see them now. And I agree. I just watched actually this weekend My Coffee with Frasier, or Niles. My Coffee with Niles. How was it?
With Niles, yeah.
With Niles, and just really marveled at the simplicity of it, and the power of it, of that episode. Really amazing. Yes, a simple question, and it's kind of interesting. But actually, by the way, I'm a library director in Derby, Connecticut, at the Derby Public Library. It is a 1902 building, which is gorgeous, and we just had some paranormal experts come and do like a ghost hunt in the house, because everyone thinks it's a haunted library, so it's kind of cool.
Oh, cool.
And it's a really great place to be a library director. Really great library. My probably going with the theater theme, and I love when I direct. I'm a theater director, and I love to direct farce. And Frasier, there were so many episodes that really were farce. And to me, one of the best is The Seal Who Came to Dinner. I just, yes, does it fall apart because it's too silly? Yeah, but you know what? Wow, is it ever? It's just really to have the audacity to do that as a television show, to put really a farce play, really a 3-act farce play in a 22-minute television slot is amazing. I mean, it really is. And then the bonus to have Christopher Durang, who is one of my favorite playwrights of all time, as one of the guests at the party as the hard to please critic, just as the icing on the cherry. And as theater people, you have to marvel at B.B. Newirth every episode that she did. This is an incredibly talented human being. And people who just know her as Lilith, which is wonderful if they do, but if you've never seen her on stage singing and dancing and performing, there's plenty of YouTube video. Go find her doing the Honey Hot Rag from Chicago, and you will be like, I can't believe that's Lilith. You're going to be blown away.
Yeah, she's wonderful. So many great performers on Frasier, and like you said, it's all very much like a play. Just wonderful writing, of course, as a benchmark or as a spine of everything, a foundation. But yeah, so happy to have all of you here. Thank you, Scott, for that. And Matt, do you want to explain what the rules are? And I'm going to kind of stay a little bit in the background here, keeping score and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to not just stop the show and talk about the haunted library. But I think we can start asking some Frasier questions. The way it's going to go is I'm going to ask questions in the order of James, then Janelle, and then Scott, over and over and over until you each get 10 questions. Whoever has the most points at the end wins a nice bowl of tossed salad and scrambled eggs all over your face. What will you do? We don't know, but we'll get there. So if everyone understands the rules, let's get going. All right, so this first question is for James. Whose presence on the show causes Daphne to suffer debilitating psychic headaches, which are brought on by the presence of negative forces? And before you answer those, I would like to also thank Bettina Michelli, Kylie Diggs, Mark Kim, and Ian Belovich, who all submitted questions for this game.
That was the first and recurring appearance of the aforementioned Lilith Sternen-Crane.
And that is correct. All right, Janelle, your first question. Cool 98.7, an actual FM radio station serving Bismarck, North Dakota, has what call letters, which it shares with the fictional AM station from Frasier?
That is KACL.
Yes, you are listening to KACL. I've always wanted to say that. And there we go. Scott, your question. What type of liqueur do Frasier and Niles often have together when Niles visits?
I knew James's question, I knew Janelle's question, and I knew I was gonna blank out. Cognac? I don't know.
They always have a nice sifter of sherry.
Oh, sherry. I did know that. I'm sorry. Oh my God, I know that.
Opening round jitters.
Yeah, that's what it was.
All right, moving on to question 2 for James. Who played Frasier's love interest, Mia, in the episode Mamma Mia? This actress, who is married to a 2-time Oscar winner, would ironically be the executive producer of the 2008 movie Mamma Mia and its 2018 sequel.
That's Mrs. Tom Hanks, Rita Wilson, who also plays his mom.
That is correct, Rita Wilson. Good poll.
I forgot about that episode where she's on video, right? And he realizes it looks like his mom. Yeah, that's right. That's funny.
That's right.
All right. Question 2 for Janelle. In Dinner at 8, Niles and Frasier dine with Martin at his favorite restaurant, the Timber Mill. After Martin has had enough of his son's insulting remarks, he leaves. What dessert does Niles announce is coming in hopes of bringing Martin back to the table?
Wow. I have no idea. I cannot remember this one. I'm just gonna guess baked Alaska.
He told him that they were bringing out the mud pie.
Oh, shoot. Did you guys know that one?
No, honestly, I didn't know that.
Okay.
That's the hard.
I
don't feel so bad.
I was thinking lava cake. I knew it was something chocolatey.
I thought there was a brief moment that baked Alaska could be the right answer.
That was a great guess.
Yeah.
Certainly a good bluff.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to miss again. Here we go.
Question 2 for Scott. In the episode Selling Out, Frasier hires BB Glazier as his agent.
Mm-hmm.
She encourages him to be on a TV commercial for Emery Nuts. What noted psychiatrist ends up doing the commercial instead?
What noted? Say it again, please. What
noted psychiatrist ends up doing the commercial instead?
Oh boy, how many noted psychiatrists are there?
Well, Frasier Crane. And
Right. Yeah. Niles.
Is Niles your final answer?
Yeah.
It is Dr. Joyce Brothers.
Oh, of course.
And in a related trivia note, was one of the first winners on the $64,000 question.
Yeah, I know all about her.
Yeah.
Don't rub it
And
in. I know exactly.
She won the $64,000 question in the topic of boxing.
Yes. Boxing. Yes. Yeah.
In defense of Scott, as we say in the show, once you're on the show, it happens to us. That's why I feel like we're smarter when we don't play trivia while recording it, is you lose 10% of your brain power when you have the microphone. Yeah.
And
of
also,
course, I was answering my own question. How many psychiatrists do you know? One. Dr. Joyce Brothers is the only one you know.
All right. Question 3 for James.
Oh, it'll be easy.
In the opening scene of A Midsummer's Night's Dream, what memorable Seinfeld prop is Niles wearing?
I have never watched Seinfeld. Never cared for it.
Oh, no. It's very good.
Seinfeld prop. A Cyrano de Bergerac nose.
The answer we're looking for is the puffy shirt.
Oh,
or the pirate shirt.
That's right. He's wearing the pirate shirt.
Okay.
He did not want to be a pirate either, I imagine.
And it's the exact same shirt.
It's the same shirt.
It's not just like it. It is the exact same shirt.
Before it was donated to the Smithsonian, where it sits today.
Man.
All right. Question 3 for Janelle. In the episode Boo, Frasier, dressed in a costume, jumps out and surprises Martin, which causes his father to drop from a sudden heart attack. What costume was Frasier wearing?
He is dressed as a terrifying looking clown.
He is dressed as a terrifying clown.
I just watched that one the other day, and I'm like, that is a scary clown.
All right. Question 3 for Scott. What part of England is Daphne Moon from?
She's from Manchester.
She is from Manchester. Question 4 for James. What state is Roz from?
She is from Wisconsin, the dairy state.
Roz is from Wisconsin. A lot of dairy. Question 4 for Janelle. What is the name of the cafe the cast usually meets in?
Oh, it's Cafe Nervosa.
And the answer is Cafe Nervosa. All right. Question 4 for Scott. In season 5's Halloween, Martin is under the assumption that Niles was getting him a Sherlock Holmes costume. With the store out of that costume, Niles proudly declares that he put together a costume for what celebrated Neal, you want to read this? You wrote the question.
Oh, sure.
You don't have to go any further. He's Lord Peter Whimsy.
He is Lord Peter Whimsy.
That is
Just
true.
watched the episode the other day.
Yep. What Matt was going to say was, what costume does he wear from the celebrated Bon Vivant Sleuth from a series of novels by Dorothy L. Sayers? That was it.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
That was good.
I'm glad that was your question.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
It's so funny. I didn't know who. I mean, I love Agatha Christie. I didn't know who Lord Peter Whimsy was. And as soon as I saw the episode, I went to our local mystery bookstore and I said, "Please give me a Lord Peter Whimsy book," and they did.
and there's a lot of them. Yeah.
All right. Question 5 for James. Frasier's apartment was said to cost producers over $500,000 to furnish. Frasier said he had a lamp by Carbu, a chair by, see, these are names I don't know, Eames, and a couch that was an exact replica of the one blank had in her Paris, word I don't know, Atelier.
It's
yes.
her workshop. That would be Coco Chanel.
You would know more than I would. It is Coco Chanel. All right.
Much like the last one with Scott, I knew where that one was headed right off the bat. So.
Question 5 for Janelle. Sticking with Frasier's interior design, the sculpture created by this artist, well known for his vibrant glass pieces, sits next to Frasier's fireplace. His studio is in Tacoma, Washington, just south of Seattle.
I've been there many times. That's a Dale Chihuly.
It is Dale Chihuly. Excellent work.
Right.
Glad you got that one, Janelle. Because that's your home state there.
Right. I love glass. I'd make glass beads. I'm like,
oh, do you really?
Glass
Wow.
stuff. And can I just say, I just feel like I found my tribe here tonight. I'm like so thrilled.
Yeah. Right before the pandemic, a friend of mine and I got a chance to go down to the Crystal Bridges Museum in Bentonville, Arkansas, which was founded by one of the Walmart heirs that's like this incredible collection of American art. And they were doing a Chihuly exhibit. Wow. And they had this huge just display of all his work, but then they had all of these outdoor works that were incorporated in. That was just amazing. I'm also a huge Chihuly fan. I'm envious that you get to go to his workshop so frequently.
Yeah, I am lucky.
All right, and the 5th question for Scott. Name the alma maters of Frasier and Niles, respectively.
Sure. Frasier is Harvard and Oxford, and Niles is Yale and Cambridge.
And that is correct.
Awesome.
You guys are doing fantastic. Neal, tell the people how fantastic everyone's doing.
Well, everyone is doing fantastic. James is on the board with 4, Janelle also with 4, and Scott right behind with 3.
Wow. All right, let's go to question 6 for James. "Let's all go to a taco show" was one of the lyrics that Frasier made up after he disastrously attempted to sing what ditty for the PBS pledge drive in the episode Look Before You Leap.
That would be Buttons and Bows.
Buttons and Bows.
Can I get half a point? Because we talked about this before the show started. I'm just kidding.
We all get half points for the ones we all know.
What's funny is when we've done these bonus recordings, we all have such a great time talking about the specific category before we start recording, and all the answers are in the discussion.
That's right.
It happens every single time. It's wonderful. Question number 6 for Janelle. In Kenny on the Couch, what item of clothing did Martin put on whenever he fought with his wife? Martin advises Kenny that he would look good in one and that women would love to feel it.
Oh, I can't remember if it's leather jacket or a suede jacket, but I think suede is nicer to the touch, so I think I'm going to go with suede.
That was a good pick because it is a suede jacket.
Nice.
All right, Scott, question 6. What facial attribute of Rick's parents is Roz concerned that baby Alice will inherit from his family?
I believe it's a big nose.
The answer is a large nose. Sweep that round. All right, question 7 for James. In the episode, Martin Does It His Way, The Cranes and Daphne discuss the late Aunt Louise, who never took her dream vacation to the South Pacific. Daphne hints to Niles and Frasier that Martin also has an unfulfilled dream that includes a hidden shoebox under his bed. What was Martin's dream?
She's such a groovy lady. She kind of drives me crazy to write a song for Frank Sinatra.
100% correct, and a great little song there. I
Great
appreciate
rendition there. Good
That was
job.
good. I felt like I was in the episode. I felt like I was listening.
Question, I believe 7 for Janelle. In the episode, the show where Diane comes back, what TV show was Diane Chambers writing for when she was fired after accidentally setting the leading actress's hair on fire?
I do not know. That is not one of my favorite episodes, so I don't watch that one very often.
Although it's one of Kelsey Grammer's favorite episodes.
Is it? Well,
Yes, because they had a feud, and they were able to patch the feud between him and Shelley Long.
Oh, I love that. That's a great story. Still don't know the answer. I'm gonna say
I don't know the answer either.
Is this a real show or is it a made-up show?
It is a. I will give you the clue. It's a real show that was on during the time of Frasier.
Okay.
So you only have like 300 to pick from.
Right. And go.
Home Improvements.
No, it was not. It was actually Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Poor Dr. Quinn.
Oh dear.
But I'm sure she had remedies for any scalp burn, so she was probably fine. Scott, question 7. In the episode The Return of Martin Crane, Daphne and Niles surprise each other with event tickets. Niles purchases tickets to Billy Joel, while Daphne bought tickets to what country's music festival, which features 4 solid hours of throat singing?
4 solid hours of throat singing. Is that what you said?
That is what I said. That is what's written on the paper.
Oh boy. Do you guys know?
I think so.
Oh shoot. I don't know. Switzerland. I have no idea.
It is the Mongolian Music Festival.
Shoot, yeah.
Which it sounds like a great time.
This episode is brought to you by Smart Food. What makes Smart Food so smart? It's Air Pop Popcorn. Tossed in white cheddar cheese, only 70 calories per cup. A notorious black bag of popcorn deliciousness. You are what you eat. Welcome to the Smart Club. Shop now at snacks.com.
Behind every work of art, there's a story. Okay, sure, it sounds kind of obvious when I say it like that, but think about it. How many times have you stood in an art museum, maybe with a date or with your mom, looked at an artwork and thought, I don't get it? I'm Amanda, and I know the feeling all too well. To me, knowing the story behind an artwork is a huge part of knowing how to look at it and appreciate it. And on my podcast, Art of History, that's exactly what I share with you. In each episode, we view history through the lens of some really great works of art. There is so much we can learn about the people and things which someone way back when deemed worthy of recording for posterity. And let me tell you, on the podcast, we have barely scratched the surface. Join me as we dive deep into the bigger picture behind some familiar and maybe not so familiar works of art. No prerequisites required. Check out Art of History wherever you get your podcasts.
Question 8 for James. In Hot Ticket, the Crane brothers miss out on seeing the final performance of Sir Trevor Ainsley when they buy tickets for the wrong performance. What was the name of the play he was performing in?
Oh. Now I will turn it around and say, do you guys know this one?
I do.
I think so.
Yeah.
I actually do.
It's not the Rime of the Ancient Mariner, but it's something like that. It is The Son of the Mariner.
You are so close. It is unfortunately The Tales of the Mariner.
No,
Tales of...
It's the Tears. Isn't it the Tears of the Mariner?
Ooh. The paper says Tales.
Oh, I thought it was the tears of the Mariner. Yeah, I don't know.
It says here tails.
I always thought
I knew it was something with the. I knew it was very close to the Ancient Mariner, but
yes.
When he gave him the fish with his hand, that was what moved.
I fact checked it, and it says Tales of the Mariner.
Oh, was it tails? Okay, I'm with you. Good, you gotcha.
There could have been tears too. I don't know. I never saw it, unfortunately.
Wait a minute, I'm getting another fact checked here. There's different sources. Hold on, 1 second.
There are different sources. Yeah.
Well, breaking news.
That's right.
Well, I just hope one of them's the son of the Mariner.
Now we're going to have to watch the episode.
Home Improvements was the right answer.
So I went to Home Improvements. That's correct.
Yay!
I went to the site that has Frasier transcripts that I've been using for the book I've been working on, and the transcript says Sir Trevor Amesley in Tears of the Mariner. So I believe Scott was right.
I also just remember that, like the sound of that from the episode. So,
unfortunately, James was still wrong, and it was his question.
Unfortunately,
but let's talk about the question for another 7 minutes. Because
all right, moving on to question 8 for Janelle. What was the name of the Reno wedding chapel that Daphne and Niles married in that offered wedding ring packages and a topless buffet?
Oh. I don't know this one either. Oh, golly. Do you guys know this one?
I don't.
Okay. Phew. Okay.
Okay. No one knows it.
No one knows it. I'm going to say...
Even Kelsey Grammer has long since forgotten.
The all-night wedding chapel and buffet.
And topless buffet. It's unfortunately the Lucky 7 Resort and Casino.
Oh, that was my next guess.
Yeah, you were it was a toss up.
Darn it.
You were close.
All right, question 8 for Scott. Daphne and Niles break up with their respective partners when they finally realize their feelings for each other, with Niles divorcing his new wife and Daphne bailing on her fiance at the altar. Who are those partners?
Okay. I get the multiple answer questions. Okay.
Purely coincidental.
He is married to, I believe, it was Jane Addams. I think her name was Dr. Mel, Karnofsky, something like that.
I will accept first names.
Okay, Mel. Dr. Mel, right? I mean, that's who he was.
Yeah.
And then, what's her name? Daphne? That's who I need? Daphne. It was Donnie, the lawyer guy. Donnie, whatever his name is. Donnie, whatever his name is.
Is correct.
Is that his name?
It is Donnie. Mel and Donnie.
Yeah, okay.
That is correct.
Donnie
I should
Douglas.
get 2 points for that. Yeah, it's gonna be multiple answer. I gave you 4 universities.
You did. That was hard. Those were hard.
Well, now Matt, you're gonna have to give James one with multiple questions here for number 9, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know if we have any more of these. I could give this one.
I could have gotten the 4 universities. I just can't get the name of the play.
All right. Question 9 for James. In the episode Wine Club, the final wine to determine if Frasier or Niles will become Corkmaster is a blend of 2 types. Which types of wine was this blend?
Cabernet and Merlot.
It is. Do you remember the percentage?
It was 55 Cabernet, 45 Merlot, I believe.
It was the other way around, but we're giving you points.
Oh.
Absolutely. Oh, good job. That's great.
All right. Question 9 for Janelle. An unexpected but not surprising nickname. What is Eddie's nickname?
Oh, it's Eddie Spaghetti.
It is Eddie Spaghetti.
Because he's had worms.
His name. Yeah, that's right. Because he had worms.
All right. And question 9 for Scott.
Wait, we had to do a bonus question, unless you're going to ask it. Do you know what Eddie's real name was? Do you both know?
Moose.
It is Moose. Yeah.
Moose.
I didn't know.
Moose.
I thought like on the show he had another
Yeah.
real name.
Moose and
Yes,
then
Moose.
And then Enzo. Yeah.
Enzo.
Well, there was
yeah.
question 10.
Yeah, there was. I get an
will
extra
say
point for that.
The next question was going to be the very talented Jack Russell Terrier.
Are you serious?
So
That was going to be my question?
That would have been one of the questions. Yeah, that was.
I asked my own question. That's what happens when you have trivia people. They're on trivia.
I know they just keep giving out facts that ruin
Sorry
questions.
about that. Ruin the whole show. I've ruined everything, haven't I?
Okay, so
I'm
if
like
you're going to say it, don't say what Frasier's child's name is, because your next question, question 9 for Scott.
Oh.
Frasier had a child before moving back home to Seattle. What is Frasier's son's name?
His name is Frederick.
Or Freddie. It is
Or Freddie,
Frederick.
yeah.
Just don't tell him he's cheating at the spelling bee.
That's right.
That's right.
All right, moving to the final round. James, question 10. Frasier went to Harvard Medical School and lets everyone know this regularly. What university has a medical school that Frasier often scoffs at, even though it has an excellent reputation?
Oh,
Wow.
Johns Hopkins.
It is Tulane University.
I had
Wow,
no clue
that
about
doesn't
that.
ring like a bell at all.
No,
Wow. Are you sure that was Frasier? Was that not like Home Improvement or something?
maybe Mark Kim doesn't like Tulane.
I
Good
think-
question.
So did
I
the
think that was-
person who wrote the question go to Tulane?
I think that actually was from Saved by the Bell.
It was a pro Tulane podcast. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I remember.
I believe
I
it was
remember the
Green
episode where they
something.
went to Frasier and Niles went to couples counseling, and they were making fun of the doctor with the all Caribbean education.
I think
But
this
I
question is coming from the episode where Niles goes in for heart surgery, and Frasier, after he does research on the medical staff, goes, "You know how I all feel, or you all know how I feel about Tulanes." So that's maybe where it came from. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
I did not have that one.
I love Neal with his Frasier wiki open, just searching Tulane, seeing
Cheers to the Mariner and Tulane University.
where it's at. All right, final question for Janelle. What make of car does Niles drive?
I believe he drives a Mercedes. Do you need more specific than that?
I will accept Mercedes. It's a Mercedes Benz.
That was probably what I would have
Are there
added.
any? There are no other. That was
We have
the
other
guy's
models.
name.
I mean, I don't know anything about them.
Okay.
I drive a Kia Forte. So.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. Exactly.
He either drove an M class or an S class because he got into the argument with John C. Reilly when they were fixing the toilet about, yeah, I had the M class, but I went up to the S class or vice versa when I had the family. So he went for the bigger one, but I don't remember which was which.
Yeah, it looks like early in the series he drove a '90s Mercedes E320 early on, but I think like you said, he changed it later on. He after divorcing Maris, he had the 1995 Geo Metro Hunchback at one place. So.
Yeah,
Yes, right.
Wow.
the Hunchback.
At the Shangri-La.
All right, and the final question of round 10 goes to Scott.
Oh no.
What is the name of the apartment Niles moves into in later seasons?
Well, okay. No, wait. No. He moves into when he's down on his luck. He's at the Shangri-La, but when he has money and he moves away from Maris, he's in the Montana.
And the answer is the Montana. Neal, they did so well. I'm so proud of everybody.
Aw,
here.
great questions.
So,
What were the scores?
yeah,
All right, so going over the scores here, I will say that we have a bunch of other questions we can go through quickly in a lightning round for fun without it counting for points. But I do have to say, Matt, you're going to have to either pick 1 or 3 more questions because everyone's tied at 7.
You're kidding.
No, everyone's tied at 7.
Wow.
Man.
That's because James, you threw that curveball at James about the weird, whatever that was, Tulane.
So Matt, if you want, we can either, depending on the competitors, we can either do 1 question where they all wager, or we can do 1 more round of 3 questions until there's only 1 left standing.
I don't like no wager.
Yeah. We don't have a lot of questions left, so let's do 1 more round, and everyone who gets it right wins. And
there you go.
We all get tossed salads,
and everyone who gets it wrong wins a little bit less, but they also win.
Let's see here.
Well, if you run through them, maybe we could just, if we know it, we can answer.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Do we just raise our hand, or do we yell, or how do we do
it? Go through. Do a James, Janelle, me, and see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just go until
round.
someone misses. So if you keep getting them until someone misses.
Until an episode of Frasier is on and reruns.
Yes.
All right, this question is for James. What did Niles and Daphne name their first son?
David.
The answer is David.
Yeah. And we all know
David
for whom
Angel.
David Angel is whom it's named for. That's right.
It's a nice touch.
And the A in KLCA is for Angel.
Well, and the other CL is for Casey and Lee.
That's exactly right. It's for the creators of the show. That's right.
All right, for Janelle, what was depicted on the Limoges coffee cups that Frasier collected? Niles accidentally breaks one after Daphne mentions that Rodney loves smelling her hair.
I believe it's the wives of King Henry VIII.
It is the wives of King Henry VIII.
Very good.
Do you know which one Niles broke?
It was
Anne Boleyn.
No, it was Catherine of Aragon.
It is Catherine of Aragon.
Very good.
Yeah. Because Frasier asked, was it Anne Boleyn? And he goes,
No,
Catherine of
Catherine
Aragon.
of Aragon. Yeah.
That's funny. See what a funny show it is.
All right.
Oh no.
For Scott.
Oh dear.
When Frasier and his boss, Kate, attempt to give their steamy physical connection a chance as a relationship, they discover they don't really have much in common. Frasier suggests an activity for them to do together, and Kate responds with, I'm not someone for whom blank is a verb.
Oh, shoot. The great Mercedes Rule. What a wonderful actress. I'm sorry, could you repeat it again? I'm not going to get it, but can you repeat it again?
Yeah. So when Frasier and his boss, Kate, attempt to give their steamy physical connection a chance as a relationship, they discover they don't really have much in common. Frasier suggests an activity for them to do together, and Kate responds with, I'm not someone for who blank is a verb.
Damn. Do you guys know? Yeah, go ahead, guys. I don't know what it is. You can say it.
Antiquing.
Oh, antiquing. Yeah, now you say it. I know it exactly.
So Scott is out, but
I'm a
obviously
loser.
No, not a loser. Everyone has won because we all tied. But now let's keep going with James and Janelle, Matt, and just see, until we have none left here. I have a few if you need, Matt.
Yeah, go with the next one.
All right. So James, obviously both the Crane brothers are into psychology. But what is each of their specialties? Which famous psychologists or psychiatrists do they follow?
Frasier is a Freudian and Niles is a Jungian, or when misspelled, a hung specialist.
That is correct. Yep, that is correct. And let's go to Janelle. Your question, why not? We'll give you one with two answers here. This one might be a little hard. So obviously Frasier is a spinoff of Cheers, but can you name the two regular main characters from Cheers that appeared in at least 70 episodes who did not make an appearance on Frasier? Actually, you can even just give me one of the Cheers cast members who did not make an appearance on Frasier in a cameo.
Rebecca is definitely one of them. She was not in Frasier. I only need one. I only need one?
Yeah, unless you want to go for two. I mean, you can go for two if you like.
They had that reunion episode where there was almost everybody there. I mean, I could say Coach, but I mean, he passed away before Frasier even started, so I don't know if that
counts. And that is correct.
Okay.
That's correct. Yep. And
Rebecca, oddly, but it counts.
Rebecca wasn't on it, obviously, because her beliefs in Scientology prevented her from appearing on a show revolving around psychiatry.
That's right.
No kidding. That's the reason.
That's right.
Yep.
That is the reason.
That was the reason.
Wow. I learned something.
I think that's a good no 10.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. We're going to end on this one just because it's one of my favorite episodes here. Let's just do this. So in season 7, Zassar is born. Daphne comes home and is shocked to find out that the Crane boys are all watching the same program. She thinks it is Pavarotti jumping the Grand Canyon. But what show are they watching while playing a drinking game every time they hear the word veneer?
Oh,
Antique
can I answer?
Roadshow.
Shoot! I could have answered in Tie Jaw.
Sorry, we can just do this all night. Clearly,
Yeah.
You guys,
That was the Simpsons one we did. It just kept going and going, and nobody got anything wrong. And I was like, okay, that let's call it. We get it. You guys like Frasier.
Yes.
You proved it. You guys are great. But yeah, we'll call it a tie. And I think the real winners are the listeners at home who got to learn some new things about Frasier and hear you guys just kind of joke around and talk about the show. So I guess we'll do this. Any last words or shout outs you want to give? We'll start with James.
Shout out to my wife Tracy, who sat through. We've probably watched the entire corpus of Frasier at least 5 times start to finish, and probably more than that, and would have dearly loved to have participated in this as well. So I will shout out to her and for her patience in not letting me do all of this, and just all the great memories we have of watching Frasier. Now again, we are actually old enough. We watched this original. I mean, it was, we watched the show when it came out every Thursday night. And it was when we first got a satellite, and we had very small children at the time. Our kids are now like 32 and 30. And the amazing thing about the satellites was they didn't have local TV stations. So you got New York and Los Angeles stations. So we could, spend the evening with the kids and put them to bed. And then we could watch the West Coast feed of everything. And it was like so remarkable at that point in time, in a day and age before streaming, that all of our shows came on at like 10 o'clock after we put the kids to bed. So that's how we got to watch Frasier.
Wonderful. Janelle, any last shout outs or anything?
Yeah, I just thank my husband as well. He's on dog patrol right now, keeping the Chihuahua quiet and not barking while I'm trying to record. And he's an amazing, fantastic human being as well, and super smart. And I appreciate him indulging me in my little Frasier fetish, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. And I want to thank you guys, Triviality. You guys are great. I've been listening to you since summer of 21. I'm almost through your whole catalog. I just binge you guys all the time. I really enjoy your show and just how you relate to one another and the content. It's just really great. And during COVID, it was just really fantastic to have you guys to listen to all the time. So thank you so much for doing this.
We do appreciate that.
Thank you.
Triviality better than COVID. You heard it here first. Scott, any last shout outs for you?
Well, sure. Well, shout out to my husband as well. I mean, he's great, and he loves Frasier too, which is a nice thing to have in your relationship. I'd like to end with one of my favorite pieces of trivia of Frasier is the cyclical nature of the first and last show. For an 11-year show, the 3 main characters were in both episodes. Niles, Frasier, and Martin were in the very first episode, and they were as was Roz and Daphne. They were all 5 of the main characters made it all the way through the show, and that's very rare for any television show to have that done. Seinfeld did it too, but that thing, and the same actor who delivered Martin's chair in the very first episode, they hired that actor to take the chair away in the very last episode of the show. So that just is a really cool thing. And for who knows who the first phone caller was, the guest celebrity actor? Anybody remember? Griffin Dunn, and the last one was because she was such a fan of the show, was Helen Mirren. And I just love that book ending of the show, that it just had that. Again, it's like a play. They ended it with knowing these resonant things were important to the people who had stuck with it for 11 years.
Can you name the people that were callers and also appeared on the show?
Oh, that's a good question. No, I probably can't. Janelle, hit it.
I know that Rosie Perez was a caller and was on it.
Oh, right.
And Laura Linney.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And those are the 2 that I can think of off the top of my head.
Well, just what Scott said, Griffin Dunn, who was the first
and Griffin
caller,
Dunn, right, of course,
came back, and the other one was Linda Hamilton. She was the second. She was the second caller, and then she was the cellist at the airport.
Oh yeah.
Oh right. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for all the additional trivia as well. I know we can do this all night, and we want to thank everybody, all the supporters on Patreon. If you would love to support us, at patreon.com/trivialitypodcast. You get bonus episodes. You can listen to our shows ad-free, which is a really great selling point. And who else makes this show possible, Neal?
Well, other than our wonderful listeners, like the three that have been joining us tonight, we are an Airwave Media podcast. So if you'd like to check out all the great podcasts on the Airwave Media Network, you can go to airwavemedia.com for podcasts like Fan Theory Queries, Who Arted, and Monster Talk. And before I throw it back to you, Matt, to tell us goodbye, I just want to tell everyone that make sure you check out Frasier, join a community of fans like this, and make sure when you go to your local cafe to always get a double decaf, non-fat latte, medium foam, with just the faintest whisper of cinnamon, and you'll have a good time. So
yes, that will not annoy the baristas at the coffee conglomerate at all. So one last time, thank you to all the contestants today. Thank you to Neal, and thank you to everybody out who's listening. Just remember that I'll be here and I'm listening.